Okay, so we're going to differentiate now with square roots, and the thing that will make it easier is, again, making sure that you know your rules by now for differentiation, but also have a little bit of a reminder of your exponential rules. Okay, so root x is x to the half, the nth root is x to the 1 over n, and when you've got a power to a square root, yeah, you can apply that rule. And of course, we know by now, timesing by the same base, you add the powers, all that sort of stuff. So, as we discovered last time, the thing that you want to do first is simplify. So it's nice to have everything as an x to the power. So this is now, we're going to rewrite this. Root x is x to the half, and the fourth root of x, we're going to write that as to the 1/4. This just makes it easier when we're now going to differentiate. So f dashed of x, remember you're indicating your derivative here, and we're using our rule, that one, a half times 5. So a half times 5, or 5 times a half, is 5 over 2. You can write it like that. And we're going to subtract 1 from a half, so we can write that as minus a half. Now remember, x to the minus a half is the same as 1 over root x, but you do not have to simplify these. Okay, but I mean, I would like you to be able to do that if asked, but this is not going to ask you to do it. It's just leave as is. So just know that that is what that would simplify to be if you were asked to do it, but you're not in this case. Anyway, carrying on. A quarter out the front. Okay, and then we have to take away 1. So a quarter take 1 is minus 3/4. Don't simplify, we're done. Okay, now we come to the next one. When we see this, I'm seeing that as an x to the 1. Okay, so when I am simplifying, I'm timesing by the same base, so I've got x to the 1 and x to the half. So I add the powers, 1 plus a half is 3 over 2. And this one will be 4x to the 1/3. Now let's differentiate from left to right. Oops, make that in white. Doesn't want to change color for me today. Okay, so let's try, yeah, f dashed of x. Okay, power goes out the front, so that will be 3 over 2. Right x, and now we want to take away 1, so 3 over 2, which is the same as 1.5. Take 1 is 1/2. You could have written that as root x, but not in the mood. So 1/3 times 4 minus 4 over 3. Take away 1, so 1/3 take 1 is minus 2/3. Really helps if you know, as I said, if you simplify first and if you know your rules. Okay, we keep going. When we look at this one, like we did before, we had a fraction in the previous video / exercises. So we are going to divide each one of these. This is going to be 8 over root x, which is x to the half, minus x cubed divided by x to the half. So you could leave this line out if you're pretty confident with y. I can now jump to. Right, pop that upstairs, minus a half, minus, right, dividing by the same base, so we take away, so 3 take a half is 2.5, but it makes our life easy when we're differentiating if we can write this as a top-heavy fraction. So 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1, so 5 over 2. That just makes our life easier when we now come to differentiate. So f dashed of x, working from left to right, minus a half times 8 minus 4 x. Now we have to take 1, so minus a half take 1 is minus 3 over 2. 5 over 2 times 1 will just be the 5 over 2 to the x, and we have to take away 1 from 5 over 2, so that will now give me 3 over 2. Hopefully this is starting to make, or you're getting more comfortable with this. Okay, again, let's have a look. Can we simplify this one? Nothing much to do with the first, so that's 7x cubed. Okay, now to the side, I'm just going to look at that x squared times x to the half. So when I'm timesing by the same base, I'm going to add the powers. Okay, 2 plus a half. So that's going to be x to the 5 over 2. So what I've got here is 2 over x to the 5 over 2. Again, make my life easier and bring that x upstairs. So that's x to the minus 5 over 2. Remember, you have not differentiated yet. And if you're doing your notation nicely, you will know that. So now I'm differentiating. So f dashed of x, 3 times 7, 21, x squared. Okay, now negative times, so we're going to go minus 5 over 2 times minus 2. Negative times a negative is a positive. And 5 over 2 times 2, the 2's cancel. So I've now got 5x, and I have to take away 1 again. So minus 5 over 2, take away 1, so take away 2 on 2. By all means, use your calculator if you need to, but I'd like to think you don't have to. So the tip with these, simplify first. Make sure you've got all your rules handy and just look them up if you need to. Don't go freestyle, follow the rules. Just pop that there. Okay, hope that helped.